I am currently in the process of treating my flocks for internal parasites, roundworms, tapeworms, intestinal worms in general. I am doing this as a preventative measure. I treat them preventatively twice a year and then any other time when I see live bugs. Now this video is for uneducational purposes only. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I do. You should do your own research before treating your birds. So just for today, I'm going to be using Safeguard, which is actually labeled for goats, but it is widely accepted to use with chickens as well. One disclaimer with Safeguard is that it should not be used with birds who have developing feathers. So that's like younger birds who are still going through molts and their feathers are still coming in, or older birds who are molting. And I say that because this is the time of year when birds are molt, or like probably on the tail end of molting. None of the birds who I'm treating are growing in feathers. They're all done with molting. Most dewormers have an egg withdrawal period, and that is a period of time where the eggs are not for consumption. This is for humans and dogs, and back to the chickens. The active ingredient in Safeguard is called fenbendazole, and this active ingredient is present in other dewormers as well, including Panicure. Now, the bit of controversy that you will hear about this particular dewormer in this particular form is that it is not water soluble, that it doesn't break down entirely in water, and this is true. You will find that it's going to leave a bit of a white residue in the water when all the water is empty or when you dump it out. Look, like these are two waters that I just opened up, and that is how the bottom of the water looks once they drank all that water down. This is another one right here. So you can kind of see it's not completely water soluble, but it's not like it's puddling up in like a big gob at the top of the water and they're not getting any of the medication or anything. But that's okay. I have a little trick around that I'll share. The alternative is to use Safeguard Aquasol. I've never used it. I don't actually even know where to find it. I'm pretty sure you might be able to order it online. But this goat dewormer, you can just go buy at Tractor Supply or probably any feed store, and it's like 38 bucks, which prices went up. I have two most trusted resources for chicken treating materials. Number one is poultrydvm.com, and number two is the Chicken Health Handbook by Gail Damerow. If you don't have that book, I absolutely suggest every chicken keeper has one. There's a link to it in my link tree. But for the purposes of today, what I am going to be doing, the suggestion that I'm going by is 3 cc's. So I'm going to use one of these little droppers right here to measure out 3 cc's per gallon of water. But of course, this is one of those things where for like official by weight dosages, you can go to poultrydvm.com. I actually went for you, and here's a screenshot of what I pulled up there. But these dosages were if you were giving the Safeguard to them directly right in the mouth with a syringe, which you can also do. And that's another way to get around the it's not entirely water soluble argument. But what I do is I only mix up enough water for the birds to consume each day. I mix up enough water so they're going to drink every single last bit of it each day. So I've only got a half gallon mixed into each. What I mixed like a full gallon in one, and then I dumped half of it into another gallon. So there's a half a gallon per bucket that I'm going to put in each chicken coop so they drink every last drop. So like even if the solution is a little more concentrated at the end, they're going to get it all in there. Again, I don't know if this is advice. It's just what I'm going to do and what works over here. The way that fenbendazole works, it is at least a 3-day treatment. Really, it's a 3 to 5 day treatment. So I'm going to be making these water solutions fresh every day for 4 days. I believe that it's important to make the solution fresh every single day. I'm going to do this for 4 days straight, and then 14 days after that last day of treatment, I'm going to repeat the cycle for 4 days straight. All the dewormers that I know of only work to kill live parasites. So that means that the eggs that the parasites are laying in the gastrointestinal tract are going to hatch even after the Safeguard kills the adult parasites. That's why we retreat again in 14 days. We're hoping to catch anything that is hatched from eggs before it reaches sexual maturity and starts laying its own eggs. This is really the only way to truly break the parasitic cycle. Although, if you have confirmed worms like that you're seeing in feces, which means that the chickens have already been shedding eggs, likely in their feces, on the property, in the coop, it's really difficult to like get rid of worms for good. There's a good chance that in those scenarios this is why I have to continue to treat bi-yearly. The solution around this would be to move your chickens from spot to spot. If you had like a huge yard and like chicken tractors, and you could move like where your chickens are grazing literally from spot to spot, so that they're not pecking in the same place where they're also pooping. Anyways, this is actually why I was in the Tractor Supply medication aisle the other day. It wasn't actually to try to tell everybody that they should be taking ivermectin personally and how to take it. Although I'm not opposed to that. I just don't have any information on how you should do that.